Hello, it's time for another Sunday school lesson. And today's lesson is on Joseph when he was in Egypt. Now, if you can't make it to Sunday school tomorrow, you'll need to read the Bible story about it. And that's in Genesis chapter 39 and Genesis chapter 41. And I'll put those verses down in the description of this video too, that you can see those verses there. Now, Joseph was in Egypt, not because he wanted to be, but because his brothers were mean to him, and they sold him into slavery. And then, what's worse, while he was there in Egypt, he got in trouble and got thrown in jail. And again, it was not his fault and not his choice, but he got into trouble for something that was somebody else's fault, not his, but he was punished. But all through this time, when we read about Joseph in Genesis 39, 40, 41, Joseph believed God. Joseph is an example for all people of believing in God. Here's what believing means. In Hebrews chapter 11, it says this: faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. You know, God wants us to have faith. God wants us to believe. That is, to have this conviction, this certainty that even if we can't see it, because God says it's so. Even though we can't see God, we believe in him. That's faith. Even though we can't see that God's making everything work out for our good, because sometimes there's bad things, faith, we believe that God is doing what he says he's doing. So keep that lesson from Joseph in mind. How even though he struggled and suffered and had trouble, he believed, and God did work all things out for good. It turns out in the end of the story that Joseph accomplished great things in his life and his career. Because of God's blessing of Joseph, many people were saved and kept from dying horrible death by hunger. Because Joseph saved all the grain so that people could eat during a great famine in Egypt and throughout the world. Keep that in mind, the way God works. Because sometimes you might have troubles. Sometimes you might get in trouble for something you didn't do. Sometimes things might not be fair. Maybe someday somebody will be angry with you or mean towards you. Maybe someday you will be sick or someone you love is sick. And then, of course, all of us, unless Jesus comes back first, all of us are going to die someday. So, if you do get in trouble for something you didn't do or didn't deserve, by faith, you can say, God will deliver me. I can endure this because God is with me. If someone does get angry with you or is mean for you, that might be an opportunity for you to learn how to examine yourself and say, was there something that I did that I could have done better? Something that I said that I shouldn't have said, that would have made this person be mad or angry? If you are sick, it teaches us not to trust in our own strength and our own abilities, but instead to see that we're helpless and we need to trust in God. If we trust on our own health or abilities or strength or riches, that's idolatry. That's having an idol, loving something more than God. And then the last bad thing that would happen if you die. Now, dying isn't something that anybody should wish for, because if we can, we should stay here on earth and continue to follow the Ten Commandments, loving God and loving our neighbor as long as we can. But even if that day comes when we die, it's not the worst thing, because then we'll be with the Lord and enjoy our life with him forever.
Here's an assignment I'd like you to do. Get a piece of paper and write on it like this. Look what God has done for me. Then practice your faith. Think of things you can write on this paper or draw on this paper that show how you believe. Even in things you can't see. Believe that God is giving you good things. List as many of the good things you can think of. Try especially to think of the things that God has done for you that will last forever.